is what these people have been waiting for. They came here day after day. This is about freedom.
The context behind this video is absolutely terrifying, and I do want to put out a trigger warning for people out there. We are going to be talking about the R word and SA. So in this video, we can see a woman covering a live event in a very busy area by the name of Lara Logan. In this video, things seem completely normal, but once her camera light dies, things take a very dark and twisted turn. So for some background, Lara Logan is a well-known radio journalist as well as a war correspondent, and her career started back in the 1990s in South Africa. And in 2001, she became much more well-known and her profile rose after covering the US invasion of Afghanistan, and then 1 year later was offered a correspondent position at CBS, eventually being promoted to the chief correspondent. She would then spend the next 4 years reporting in battlefield scenarios, which obviously is a very sketchy place to hang out. Sometimes journalists do end up losing their lives, and mainly she was focused on Afghanistan/Iraq. Through all of her journalism and reporting, Lara remained relatively safe. That is until February 11th of 2011, when she was reporting in Egypt. At this time, she was in Tahrir Square celebrating Hosni Mubarak's resignation, and there was a very large celebration taking place, so this seemed like a pretty safe place to do this coverage. The people in the background continued celebrating while the cameras were on, and it seemed like they were pretty accepting of her being there, but once the camera light went out, the guide that she was with told her that they needed to leave ASAP. There were whispers going through the male-dominated crowd stating that they wanted to remove her clothing and touch her in very inappropriate ways, so this is not a good situation to be in. Unfortunately though, because there were roughly 200 to 300 men here, the guide was overpowered and Lara was pulled into the center of them, where they tore off all of her pieces of clothing, and they did some pretty horrific things that I can't really repeat here. All in all, this assault lasted roughly 25 minutes, and there is a pretty terrifying 60-minute interview with Lara herself where she goes over this in great detail, and there's even a little bit of footage there to give you guys an idea as to how terrifying this was. And while the actions from this crowd are absolutely horrible, and this is clearly not an acceptable thing to do as modern-day humans, many people after this incident were not very supportive of Lara, stating that she knew what she was doing, and the fact that she's a blonde, pretty woman working here means she shouldn't have put herself in this situation to begin with, essentially victim blaming her. And obviously, in my opinion, this is a very bad take. People should be allowed to do the jobs that they want to do, where they want to do it, and be safe. Obviously, there's a limit to how safe you can be if you're a war journalist or in these situations, but still, this is definitely not acceptable. We should not be blaming Lara. In any event, let me know what you guys think about this case in the comment section below. As mentioned, you guys are able to go find that footage and watch that if you want to. Trigger warning for that. My Patreon's also in the description below if you want to go subscribe and support that. I release my long form videos there early, and I post some exclusive content, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.